900,000 small businesses will be taxed under his plan because most small businesses are subchapter S corps.
Put back together, like your house. Yeah. You're a testimony. You got thousands off of the dam. God, it can be better than it was before the storm because God is always out doing the last great thing that He did. So if you get a hold of God and get some innovation, it can even be better than it was before the storm.
You know, after the storm, our focus was.
Weapons of mass destruction pops.
That would be after the atomic blast, right?
No, that was the heat wave in
Heat
France
wave?
last 2 years ago.
My goodness gracious. But what can you do about it?
You think for the last 4 years that he's been in office caused that hurricane right there? I don't think so. Do you?
I think, well, perhaps if he had actually was
You
really
think if
interested
he'd have
in...
done something about global warming for 4 years that it never would have happened? You ain't gonna stop it in 4 years. Ain't gonna stop it in my lifetime anyway, I don't think. It's gonna take years and years and years to get everybody on the right page, you know. I don't know. There's a lot of things that are issues in this world, you know. Me personally, I live in the country and I like it. And, you know, ain't nobody coming over my house knocking on my door talking about global warming, you know. I mean, it should be an issue or something, but you know, it's just like, you know, my daddy said, you know, you just live right and do right and everything will be all right, you know. I mean, you know, you got to care about stuff like this, I understand that, but I mean, you know, I'm not going to drop what I'm doing to go fight for something that's they've been fighting for years and years and years, you know. This is not going to put food on my table right here, you know what I mean? I mean, you know, you got to look at the big picture of it. I mean, for somebody out there that's paying a bunch of y'all to go around and spread the word and everything, well, that's fine and dandy, but, you know, what's little Jimmy gonna do, you know, that drives a Ford Contour and lives in the country and we separate our trash at home and stuff like that. I mean, you know, we try to do as much as we can for the environment, but I mean, you know, my little Ford running down the road's not half as bad as them plants down in Nashville running full blast and stuff like that. So, I mean, what can I do? I'm not gonna go down there and say, hey, you know, I am against this totally. They're gonna say, and, you know, what do you want?
We're gonna get our truck off your property, by the way, like, probably right now. Why don't we do that?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, well,
I'm
you got enough.
I'm glad you pulled there instead of there, because if you'd have pulled in there, you might have.
Oh,
yeah. But yeah, that's no problem. No problem. Global warming, huh?
Didn't hear you.
Global warming.
You got it.
There well could be something to do with global warming. I don't know, but I know that every 100 years or so there's a disturbance, and we've had ice ages, et cetera, and if we're not the culprits anymore on global warming. China and the Koreas, undeveloped countries, they're contributing to the global warming. I didn't have to think much on that, but on the campaign trail, you may not know it, but this is Bush country here. This is Bush country. Bush is he's like I am kind of. He's plain talking, good old boy. But what he tells you, you can depend on it. You can take it to the bank. And I just hope and pray that the American people will realize that come Tuesday.
There are some folks who say that if his policies continue in the same direction, global warming may be made worse.
Well, it very well may be, but in 4 years, instead of our pollution, instead of going up, it has come down, and I can't go along with all this business that he's such a polluter. The air is cleaner, the water is pure. Surely y'all are on top of it. Y'all not connected with Robert Kennedy, are you, by any chance?
No, why do you say that?
Well, I'm beginning to pick up a little bit here.
No, we're not connected with Robert Kennedy.
Okay.
No. Did Kennedy come down and talk about global warming?
Oh yes,
When?
and pollution.
No, when?
He was here 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Did he say something about global warming?
Oh yes.
What did he say?
It's all George Bush's fault. George Bush has brought all this on, and with that voice that he's got, he's another one of the. He's just liberal. I just say that. And instead of Kennedy and all that bunch of ripping and raring on George Bush, they ought to be talking to the Chinese, the North Koreans, the people that are in the underdeveloped countries that put it in the atmosphere. I'm just a 76-year-old old coot that doesn't know much, but the good Lord did give me a little bit of common sense.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you think it's not an issue?
Why do I think it's not an issue? Because I think we have an administration that is so self-centered and so self-righteous and so sure of themselves that they're focused solely on certain things, and that's not one of them. Other than that, I don't really have any bias against the administration. They don't care.
Why isn't there more public outcry?
Because I think Americans in general
want to drive their big SUVs.
Yeah. I think we're also.
They're more concerned about the gas prices going up than global warming
or anything else, or the fact that you're killing innocent children in Iraq. So, I mean, we will run out of water. The air is not as good as it used to be. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting to be an old geezer, but summers are hotter than they were before. Winters up here, which we get some really tough winters, but there seem to be more and more winters where, it isn't cold like it used to be. We don't have the snows we used to have. We don't have the snow melt. I live up on a lake up north of here, and every summer the lake is down, and this is the second year in a row we live on the lake and we have water restrictions. The wells are drying up for people who are on wells. I have a well that's from an old house. It's still down deep enough, but I don't know. Something's wrong. It should be an issue.
I think it is an issue, but it's so far down the totem pole for people. It's not something that's that they're concerned with.
Rather than spend all the money on a war in Iraq and a country that you had contained, why not spend $87 billion? Give it to the car companies. Give it to corporations in America if you want to. Say, all right, in 10 years, do what Kennedy did about getting on the moon. In 10 years, we will not be using fossil fuels. We will not. Not only that, in 10 years, if we eliminate the use of fossil fuels, the Middle East becomes insignificant in a lot of ways. It becomes insignificant. Plus, it develops entire new industries in the United States. You know, car companies would have to retool, just like after a war. You retool, you hire different people, you teach new technologies to people. That's what we should do.